Hi, and welcome to my life. This is Kismet, the Feral Grandma. And if anyone's looking around for some food, here it is. I am making this lamb shoulder steak. I mean, you can compare it, it's very little bigger than my hand. I'm turning the heat down a little bit. It's not going to take very long to cook. I have beef tallow melted into the pan, and it's already at 123 degrees when I put the probe to the middle. I salted it on both sides. I salted one side, then put that side down onto the beef tallow. And you get this nice golden color where it has the best contact with the pan. I want the same pretty much on the other side. Like I said, these cook fast, so this is likely to be a very short video. And then at some point I'll have to wipe up the splatters. Because it cooks so fast, it's really worth making the commitment to do the wiping rather than using a splatter screen. I do like those screens, but getting it out, using it, cleaning it afterwards because all that oil gets trapped in the grid of the wire mesh. Okay. Going to the center from this side, because I've turned it over, it is losing heat from the side that I cooked first. If I go too deeply, it reads a little high because it's closer to the heating element. You see, this side is not looking as good as the first side yet. Sometimes I'll use butter just because it browns nicely. But I'm making an effort to take less dairy. Dairy is not what I need. I need ruminant animals. Now, just as with beef, you can see that some of the interstitial fluids are being forced to the surface. And we're getting a little bit of that nice goldenish color over here, which may not, I mean, that's probably going to be the most delectable bites right there. Right there, it's up against the bone, which kind of buffers it during the cooking. And that's why you get the bone-in steak. The bone is a bit of a heat sink. A word that may not mean much outside of the soldering, metalworking, and computer world. But if you're cooking lamb without the bone, then you want to use a much lower heat than you do with the bone. When you're cooking with the bone, it takes a while for the bone to reach any point that, the bone soaks up some of the heat from the pan there. I've got my plate standing by, and this fork I'm turning it with will be the fork that I eat with. It's just a little salad fork. And the decoration of the handle is simple and pleasing. It's also one of 2 sets of flatware that I received, or that Loki and I received when we got married. The one set was a little plainer up further up the handle, but much more ornate down here. And they're mostly gone due to various acts of destruction over the years. When you have kids in your life, your wedding gifts start disappearing. I once made a very nice meal and a dessert to follow it. And a particular idiot handed one of my irreplaceable dessert dishes to a toddler to bring to the sink for me. That's my kid, but she's still a toddler. I didn't have her carrying my good china back and forth to the kitchen. So that was the first breakage of my best china. I no longer have any pieces of that china. Okay, I'm gonna take this steak out now. And for my sauce, I'm going to add just a little splash of the water from the RO system to deglaze the pan. A little extra salt. And I want some garlic. I mean, most people understand that garlic and lamb go very well together. I don't usually want anything in the way of a sauce. I'm too likely, and entirely too likely, to pour it on myself. But between the heat and the tiny amount of dried powdered garlic, it might emulsify that fat, what's not cooked into the surface already. And there it is. Put some water into that while it's cooking. Turn the stove off. Now I just have to decide if I want a tiny bit of anything next to it. If I'm still hungry after this, I'll decide what to eat then. But keep in mind, Grandma loves you and wants you to be okay. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.